netizens are obsessed with the arrest of the founder of JD.com, who is now facing charges in the United States of sexual misconduct. Now, it is very unclear what these charges actually involve. Sexual misconduct, where he was arrested in the state of Minnesota, can mean a lot of different things. But he's a huge figure in China, a very popular figure, and these billionaires and tech titans in China, their lives often become tabloid fodder. What do you make of this particular situation, what it means for him, what it means for the company?
I think it's important, like you did, to emphasize that right now we know very little about what the accusations are and whether or not, any indication to whether or not he is guilty of what he might be accused of doing. However, it's hard to see this as anything but bad for Richard Liu and bad for JD.com. Even if it turns out that the charges were completely groundless, it's a lot of bad press. It's embarrassing for China, not necessarily in the way that we see it, but it's very easy to imagine that people in Beijing will say, oh gosh, this is making China lose face by having these embarrassing allegations. And there's almost no sense that this has anything at all to do with U.S.-China trade or any bigger political dynamics. It really just feels like this is something that Liu is accused of doing.
Right. There are also reports that something happened at one of his residences in Australia for which he wasn't charged, but another guest actually was, and was convicted. What does this mean for rivals? I mean, could this give Alibaba a leg up?
I think this is certainly good for rivals. I think Jack Ma has more of a reputation as not a Boy Scout, because they don't have Boy Scouts in China in the same way, but as someone who handles issues in a bit more of a moralistic fashion, whereas Richard Liu is a little bit brasher, younger, a little bit more charismatic in a way. And I think this certainly gives Jack Ma ammunition to subtly go after Richard Liu's character, and it's also a good time for them to possibly move into some of JD.com's businesses while Richard Liu and JD are distracted. I will say that as soon as he got back to Beijing, Liu attended a event, he attended a signing. He's trying to say, hey, this is business as usual, but if the state of Minnesota, if the Minnesota police come back with a serious allegation, it'll certainly be a big distraction.